also going to learn my favorite jazz chord. I'm going to show you that chord here in a minute. And you can make anything sound jazz immediately by just doing that chord. Okay, we'll talk about the chord and music theory a little bit just to show you what the chord is. Anyway, this is the lessons for this whole thing are on webpianoteacher.com, my website. Teach you all the parts there. This is just the tip of the iceberg, these few lessons. If you'd like to hear me play the whole thing, go to my Instagram account. I'm webpianoteacher on Instagram, all one word. And you can hear me play the whole thing. I perform it on my piano at home. All right, so let's get to this part one. Da-da-da-dum. F sharp, G, G sharp, A with my right hand. All right, these aren't beginner lessons. If you are a beginner, man, you need beginner lessons. And I have those on my website as well. They're called my Easy Piano Lesson Series. And they take you from square one, or if you're just new to my lessons and need to figure out what I'm all about and what I'm doing here with this whiteboard. F sharp, G, G sharp, A, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. We're going to roll that up. You know, you drum your fingers on a desk. Normally you drum them this way, right towards your thumb, but you're going to roll them the other way. So go ahead and get all your fingers on the correct keys. F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Roll them up. Boom. Just practice that a little while. Just a little bit of a roll of your wrist. Do it. Like that. See how my wrist is moving like that? Feel kind of funny if you've never done it. Everybody wants to stay stiff, but you got to stay loose. And then we're going to have, let's look at more of the right hand. C sharp, E, F sharp, A. We'll get to that cool chord in a minute. I'm going to show you, but let's learn what I have up here on the board first. C sharp, E, F sharp, A. 1, 2, 3, 5. All right. So play out. We go bum, 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 bum. So da da dum, bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da da dum, bum, 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 bum. And then we're going to do this again. Da 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 dum. That kind of goes with the next thing though. F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Just like this one did. Okay, it's a lead into the next measure. Left hand is going to do D, A, and then F sharp. All right, so middle C, next C down. That's the D we're on. Fifth finger, two finger on the A, thumb on F sharp. You say, well, what is that? All it is a D chord, just kind of spread out. D, F sharp, A. Well, we go D, A, F sharp. It's still a D chord, even though we mix the letters up. It gives a more pleasing sound when it's spread out that way. All right, kind of pivot on that two finger. Get over this. See how my wrist moves? Move that wrist. The wrist moves this way, also moves this way for some things. Piano, so A after that. So we have slow motion. Okay, we're also going to talk about in the lessons how to feel this. Sometimes jazz, especially piano jazz, you don't have anybody playing with you sometimes, so you can just kind of go your own tempo and the beats just kind of push and pull. In the tempo, you just have to make sure you're on the downbeat. Okay, as long as you breathe out and then you breathe back in, that's kind of like these measures are. You just want to make sure you come in on time on the downbeat. All right, so if we go slow motion here, when you finally play, you just want to, like you're breathing out. Breathe in, and then this is another breath for the next one. You breathe in, breathe out. You feel that? Just a kind of a phrase. If you played it like a robot, then it loses all the jazziness. It loses all of the just, cool man kind of feel. You just want to. All right, so the next phrase, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, just like the first one, it's just a cool way to get to A. Okay? And then F sharp, C sharp, A this time. So the chord changes a little bit. We don't have the E in there, just the F sharp. Left hand goes C sharp, A. And then F sharp, A. And we have a cool chord after that. Okay? Maybe you wonder what these first two chords are. We'll talk about those and that cool chord right after we play this together now. Now we learn the first measure, we learn the second one. Now let's tie it together and go. All right, we get to the next measure. So we start off, okay, that is a D major 7 chord, it's actually 9. Okay, so you start with a D chord, all right? That's a regular chord, 3 notes. When you add a 7th, there's the C sharp, because D has a C sharp in the key signature, right? D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, E. So D, F sharp, A, C sharp on top. Adding another note to the chord makes it an E. That's called a D9, D major 9. Okay, so D major, and then major 7, and you have the 9th on top, okay? So, and these major 7, major 9 chords just kind of sound really jazzy, you know? The next chord is not so jazzy. It's just a 3-note chord. It's F sharp, A, and C sharp. Even though there's a C sharp on the bottom, the notes in the chord are still F sharp, A, C sharp. You say, why is C sharp on the bottom? Because listen to the bass. It's a cool progression to go down by half step. Okay, so that's why we put a C sharp on the bottom, even though it's an F sharp chord. So we have, listen to the bass. D, C sharp. And the next chord's pretty cool. We'll talk about that in lesson 2, about what kind of cool chord that is. And I'm going to show you that neat chord that I was going to get to. All right, so you got to know a little music theory if you've watched my theory lessons on YouTube. D is our 1 chord. So go to the 5 chord. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is D is 1, A is 5. I'll make a 7th chord right there. A, C sharp, E, G, but I'm just going to leave the C sharp out and do A, E, G. That's called an A7. So do your 5 chord, but on top of that, we're going to do what's called a major 3 chord. If D is 1, F sharp is 3. And if I do a major chord on F sharp, I have F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. Now that's a weird way to think about it, but this is the way I teach people and they kind of get it. Put a major 3 chord, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. I'm going to switch around a little bit. A sharp, C sharp, F sharp. On top of that A7, I get this. Hear that? Isn't that neat? You can do that in any key. Just put the 5, 7 on the bottom, and then a major 3 on top. Let's try it in the key of C. Let's say we're in the key of C. And I do a 5 chord. If C is 1, G is 5. I'll do a G7, G, D, F. What's the major 3 chord? C, D, E. So E, G sharp, B is a major 3 chord. So I'll do this. Hear that? I just did it in the key of C. Go back to the key of D. Isn't that neat? That immediately makes you sound jazzy when you do that. A 5, 7 on the bottom and layer on top a major 3 chord. All right, guys, check me out on Instagram or Web Piano Teacher. Go to my website, webpianoteacher.com, for thousands of lessons for a lifetime of music learning and enjoyment. Hope you have a great day, guys. Talk